I think one of the saddest events that happened with my experience with my wife, and again, I was married for 25 years, and she succumbed to alcohol use disorder almost 5 years ago this February. And this event I've told before. In fact, we ended the memoir, Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism, with this story. And then we later took it out because it was kind of redundant, the editor thought. But I tell it again because for me it's very important. A very, very, very important part of the story. And this happened about 3 weeks after she had passed away. And, I drove home. I had gone to work, back to work. I mean, I had to do something. There was a lot going on at the time. I remember driving home. I drove up into the driveway, and from the still sitting in the car, I could notice a couple boxes on the front step, and one was blue. I'd never seen a solid blue box before, and I think another one was Amazon or something else I bought on eBay or something. And I slowly got out of the car, and as soon as I got out of the car, I recognized what it was, even though I'd never seen a box like this. And it really plowed me. It just really, I just couldn't even believe it was sitting. Somebody had left this on the front step. And I walked up to it, and I picked it up, and I just couldn't even believe it. And I held it in one hand, and I opened the front door, and I walked in the front door, and I sat down. We had some couches on our front living room, and I sat down on the couch, and then I looked at the box. And on the top of the box, it said, "Human remains, do not leave." And I remember just going, "Oh my God!" We had cremated Amanda, and I had no idea they were just going to send her in the mail. And to find it on the doorstep, it was really just kind of the last slap in the face. You would have assumed they would have signed. You'd have to sign for something like that. I mean, I buy cigars, and we have to sign for those. They can't leave those on the front door. You think human remains, you'd have to sign for them, but they were sitting on the front step, and that was something that always really bothered me. And I think it was the first and really the only time that I really lost it emotionally, because my son was away at college, and I was home alone, and it was a very weird time of my life. There was just like nobody home. All suddenly everything was gone and everything had changed. And I tell this story because if you do have somebody in your family and they are in denial, they're in deflection, and they drink on a regular basis, this is the road they're going to go down. There is no good ending. There is no happy ending unless they get it into recovery. And you have to be aware of that as a family member. They can call it whatever they want. There's a million titles for where they're at. You can call it functioning alcoholic. You can call it dry drunk. You can call it whatever label you want. But if they're suffering from alcohol use disorder, they're going to die prematurely. There's no way around it, okay? And a large part of this page, and the reason why I do these, is because it's very motivating. You don't want other people to experience what you've experienced. And with the knowledge that I've lived with and studied and experienced firsthand, I don't want your loved one to end up in a box on your doorstep, a box of ashes. Because after 25 years of marriage, all I had left was a box of ashes. Even though she went to 7 rehabs, multiple 4 DUIs, unbelievable amount of surgeries, emergency surgery, emergency stays, detoxes, rehabs, I mean, over and over again. And nothing's going to make any difference until that person is ready to change themselves. And you have to understand, as a family member, there's only so much you can do, and there is a point, whether if you do decide to stay with them, to make sure that this may be the result. A large part of the population who do suffer from this disease are not going to make it, and it's important to prepare for that ending. So I really hope, if you're a recovering alcoholic, that this inspires you to stay in recovery, because it's not worth it for your life and for the lives of the people in your life. If you're still an active alcoholic, I hope this gives you some insight into the direction that you're headed physically, emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. Understand that this is not a unique story. If you keep putting class 1 carcinogen into your body, it's going to wear down your organs and your brain. There's no escaping that, okay? So on that note, again, my wife's memoir is called Amanda, A Cautionary Tale of Alcoholism. Again, it's the story of my wife's 25-year decline with alcohol use disorder, and ultimately she succumbed almost 5 years ago. I really hope that resonates with a lot of people and a lot of families, because it's a family disease. And again, I go live Monday through Friday right around 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. We have the Facebook group. It's called There's an Alcoholic in the Family. Again, link is in my link tree in my bio. And when you're ready to work with me one-on-one, set up a breakthrough call. It takes about 45 minutes or so. We're going to do a deep dive into what's going on with you. And then, make sure the person who needs the help is on the call. If you do make a call, make sure you show up and ready to go and have a nice quiet place to talk. The call is free. The program is definitely not. But I'm looking for people who are motivated to change their lives and the lives of their family. And again, thanks so much for listening.